full consent agenda.
Well, I was, mine went right through. Nobody on my side. Didn't go well, huh? I just need to take back where I'm now. Morning, Miss Jane.
My goodness. I think we had all kinds of revisions because I can't get up like. Okay.
Oh, so did you see the top sheet changed? This,
Yeah,
so is that
we pulled everything and replaced it. Okay.
I got my app on me. For the budget.
on Jane has them?
Yeah.
Morning.
Morning.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Access to solid waste.
I need someone to approve the consent agenda.
I will.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, I'll second.
Roll call aim.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Yes. You're up, Bill.
All right, 3 discussion items. Brimfield Township, their contract expires at the end of the year. Last Friday afternoon, we met with their representatives, and we're basically giving 2 demands by them. One is to remove the fees off the taxes, and the other one was they want a subscription-only service. And basically said, well, you know, we could pull them off the property taxes, however, there'd be a charge for invoicing, but I basically said, we're not gonna do a subscription service. It's just not something that we do. We used to do it in Ravenna Township, but it was concentrated to a certain area. At first, the district many years ago tried that, and the trucks were crisscrossing, it just wasn't effective. We do it somewhat in Randolph Township, but it has to be close to an existing route where the truck is literally going past or whatever, and that's the exception. But with both of those communities, that eventually, well, with Ravenna Township, that migrated into a full-time curbside service. And while we do get some pushback from some residents in Randolph Township, that number continues to grow. They see their neighbors with the cart, then they say, hey, how did you get it? And as I've told residents, you know, it has to be near an existing route. I use Lawbert Road as the example. That's at the very southern end of the township. I can't do one house on Lawbert Road, but if the whole road decides to do it, it makes it worthwhile. So what we're doing is I've drafted a letter. I'm working with Todd, the prosecutor's office, they want a proposal for it from us. And basically, if we don't meet their agreements, they're just gonna walk at the end of the year. So, part of my letter will be outlining when we can collect carts. We contacted the contractor that has put them out, and he cannot do them the last 2 weeks of the year. The holiday literally falls right in the middle of those weeks. He'd like to have his crew at home for the holidays, which I get. They're on the road the majority of the year. We're just putting everything together. I've got the prosecutor's office looking at the contract to make sure what we want to do. And then, reviewing the letter, and then we'll send off our last and what we consider our best proposal, and the ball's back in their court.
Bill, if we said no to the subscription though, I mean, why do they want a proposal? I guess I'm a little
I don't
confused.
know, the feeling, the information I got back, they did their own survey that they figure 45% of the people use it, the participation rate. Well, I can tell you, we have people, just like the mailman, that as soon as the mailman comes, they're out at the mailbox and getting the mail. Same way with the cards. And so I don't know how they did it. I would find it difficult, especially on a Tuesday, that is the largest day in Brimfield, that they could actually cover the entire township for all the carts. But that's their study, that's their feeling. But I don't find that number really correct, because even when I drive through the community, there's streets that, there's a lot of carts out. I don't put my cart out unless it's full. There's only 2 of us.
Yeah.
So unless Amazon Prime decides to, come to my house a lot that week, I don't generate a lot. So like this week, my cart will not be out. But that's the week you count my road. And realistically, to do a true blue participation analysis, you really need to do it over 3 to 4 weeks. There are some people only put it out once a month.
There's some people that are gone.
Exactly. So that's where we're at with Brimfield Township. I'll keep you updated as we move through. But
Well, and I wanted to say, when you get the letter, before it goes out to them, can you send it to us?
Yeah.
Because I get tired of getting caught off guard, and it's like, we don't know what you guys are doing.
Right.
So I want to see that letter before it goes out to Brimfield, so in case we get calls,
Right. Right, okay. The second item, or item C, is the official list of acceptable items for recycling. This is something that we really need to get out, and I've talked to a number of different communities that will put this on their community website, Facebook page, and then the elected officials, whether they have their own, have also agreed to get it out on their Facebook page. This will hopefully kind of let everybody know, hey, this is what the official Portage County list is. Again, I got a phone call from somebody from Summit County yesterday, and so I just want to kind of get this, that this is what we will accept, because it does play a part into our contamination and our composition analysis, which is coming up in November. And I've also talked to a number of elected officials where I have a running list of videos, short videos that are sent out by the processors, and instead of just unleashing the same list, we kind of like to spoon feed it, because we want to keep them interested in looking at what we're doing and try to keep them updated. So that will go out as well. But this, the other thing that we would probably add to this would be, please don't put your cart out unless it's full. My guys have told me that there's a few places where literally there's one water bottle in the cart.
Oh, come on.
So I've just said, let me know where that place is at, and we'll try to address it accordingly. So this is the list. If you're good with it, I'd like to get moving on it. This dovetails into item 3. I sent you a memo about you know, I was asked to speak to the Kent Sustainability Commission, and out of that, Judy Nelson, who is here in the audience today, has offered to help the district in getting the message out. And I think it's a fantastic idea. It will help my team with this message. They bring a lot of good ideas. What I'd like to do is make it a cross-section of the entire county. I just don't want one section. I would like to do like township, village, city. I would like to do a legal advertisement in the paper to form this committee and make it just not all about contamination. Make it citizen feedback. What are we hitting on? What are we missing on? Because, you know, they're the pulse of the county. You know, I get one phone call and I know that that's not the pulse, but it's just another extension of helping us do our jobs and hopefully do them the best that we can.
Will Dawn be involved with us at all? I mean, she's like your educator, right? Is
Yeah,
she-
yeah, actually,
help
I
her?
haven't told Dawn yet this,
Okay,
so
yeah.
I'll let you break the news to her. But
Oh.
I'm gonna put her in charge of this.
Yeah, well,
Because,
she would be
yeah,
good.
yeah, she would be excellent at it. And I just, you know, I've got other projects that I'm working on, and I just think this would be great. And it's something that I would like to make sure that we continue across the board, whether it's contamination or something else.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Very good, and thank you for volunteering.
Judy.
Yes.
I
Very
told her,
important.
I told her about the compensation. It's a lot of zeros, so.
I'm used to that.
You're used to that, okay.
But I'm just tickled to death. I know that I've also, with the proper placement of items, the Kent Environmental Council has pledged their support and their help as well, so I think we'll be well on our way.
Great.
The last thing is I need an executive session for personnel, G1.
Okay, so what's the purpose for it? You have to give us a reason for personnel. You wanna see the list?
Yeah, I should just commit it to memory. Disciplinary action, dismissal, disciplinary action, so on and so forth.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
okay. I'll make a motion to go into executive session for just G1 to consider the dismissal of discipline for a public employee.
Second.
Roll calling.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Kathleen?
Yes.
Vicky?
Yes.